Gentlemen, I'm getting ready to go outside. Now, while I go outside, we got some talking to do because that's what we do around here. We talk, okay? And then you know what your job is? Your job is to listen. There you go. That's what happens when people talk. Somebody gotta listen. Now you hear people. Well, we ain't gonna talk about them people. We gonna talk about y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Never in my history have I gotta be quiet because I'd be lying if I said that, because it happens all the time. I keep telling y'all I am a servant of the true God Jehovah, and I could not have imagined coming up with this, but I'm gonna tell y'all what we done come up with, and y'all gonna be like, what? And I'll be like, yeah, and you're gonna be like, but that's impossible, and I'm gonna be like, no it ain't, and y'all gonna be like, oh man, did you know it? And I'm gonna be like, yes I do. Okay, so let me explain y'all what's going on, so y'all get what's going on. I'm gonna go about the ducks in a minute, so y'all can hear the duckies, because some people want to hear the duckies. I don't know why they want to hear the ducks. I get to hear the ducks all the time. The ducks don't be bothering me. They be ducking and dodging. Yeah, I used the punny there. Did you see that? Ducking. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite a few people who did arbitration awards. They didn't understand because they didn't do their research on what an arbitration award is, who gets to issue arbitration awards, how binding are arbitration awards, and what constitutes a valid arbitration award. Now, some of y'all were dealing with arbitration organizations that were started by other companies. If they followed the law, followed procedure, then those awards are binding by law. You don't need a judge to confirm an arbitration award. An arbitration award, if the arbitration award was not vacated or modified, or there was no issue of fraud brought before a court to where a judgment was rendered within 90 days of the issuance of the arbitration award. We say 100 because you need the days for the item to be delivered to the parties. If that award was not done, sorry about that, you're going to be hearing that because I'm outside, but if it was not done within the 100-day time frame, 90 days according to the act, but it's upon delivery, then there is nothing anybody can say. It's a valid award. The arbitrator does not need to be licensed with no stupid organization known as the American Arbitration Association, or JAM. Okay, there is no requirement for the arbitrator to be licensed. Your grandmama can be an arbitrator. She just has to follow the law. What's the law on arbitration? Honest, fair, and the agreement. That's the law. The agreement is the law. Seriously, that's it. You just have to follow the agreement between the parties. You don't get to make nothing up. A lot of people like to make things up, like to make up their own rules. It don't work that way. Y'all really need to understand that. Arbitration is a legal process, so you got to follow the law. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you what has happened and how big of a deal it is. I mean, really, how big of a deal it really is. Because an arbitration award is issued by an arbitrator, it is a binding award, binding upon the parties. The contract between the parties. Pay attention. The contract between the parties. That's what does everything. The contract. Hey, what are y'all doing over here? The roosters. What y'all doing? Y'all ain't getting at that. Don't y'all dare be pecking at nothing. Yeah, I'm talking to you. They're just looking at me. Hey, ducks. You see how quiet it is around here? We got the puppy who monitors. Everybody's getting along. Oh, and then I'm not even going to tell you guys about the birds that come into their pen and eat their food. So we got a whole habitat going on here. But let's get back to your arbitration, because y'all need to hear about it. When an arbitrator issues an award, the award is binding upon the parties. It's a binding award. Nobody can challenge the award. You have, pay attention, 90 days to challenge the award. Once those 90 days are up, that is it. Nobody gets to play after that. The playground is, what you messing with that for? Sorry, the rooster. Nobody can mess with that playground. That playground is well established. Okay? Nobody can go in and change the arbitration award. Nobody can do anything. The contract, as long as the arbitrator went according to the terms of the contractual agreement, the award is binding. Now, the information that was discovered, that's right, like Columbus, yeah, he didn't discover nothing. But the information that was discovered this morning is this. An arbitration award can be converted to a promissory note. Why is that? Because the parties' contract, the agreement between the parties was an agreement that the parties would abide by the arbitrator's decision. So it is a promise to pay if the arbitrator issues a order to pay. So the arbitration award can be converted to a promissory note. And if it can be converted to a promissory note, you get the default on the promissory note. You don't need to go to court to default on the promissory note. And you get to now operate as a bank because it's a banking matter. An arbitration award is a financial instrument. Because it's a promissory note, now, because you converted it to a promissory note, and do it the legal way, don't just say it's a promissory note. Convert it to a promissory note. Do your research. Because it's now a promissory note, now when you do your taxes, you get to write it off as a financial instrument, i.e., you get to get funds coming back to you. You figure? You understand? You get it? Some of y'all, you're not going to get it. I don't care if somebody explains it to you 20 which ways from Sunday. You ain't going to get it because it's above you, beyond you, and you just are not going to comprehend this. But then there are those, pay attention to me, there are those who have an understanding, and they're going to get it. Ooh, going to get it. And when they get it, can't nobody do nothing about it because they're going to take this to a whole new level. Power to the people. Wow. Give the people the power they want. So, for those people who understand, that's what this is for. What y'all looking at? I'm in front of the cage with Griff and Eve. All right. Y'all need some water. I got you. I'm going to get you some water. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. They have a 5-gallon bucket of water. Get back. They have a 5-gallon bucket of water. And it's empty. Didn't I say back up? Sorry, they're not allowed to come at the gate while I'm opening it. They must stay away from the gate because they. Uh-oh, my phone's ringing. I got to hang. Hold on. I know. In the video. Okay, I'll call that person back. All right.